Peace, fam. Hey, be sure to join us for the show today. We'll be talking about a few different things today. Of course, it is Coochie Chocolate, my personal fast day, my personal holiday. We're gonna look at one of these folktales because this is very interesting. I'm going through my notes and I'm working on this folktale, and I want your opinion on the folktale. So let's go and look at this real quick and see you on the show. All right, fam. So today, of course, I'm doing research. So um, I'm looking more into fascia again. I'm looking into fascia some more. I went back to the original book. As those of you that tuned in to the first part, I was sharing a book called Natural Born Heroes. Right. Going through here right now, and I think I lost my place in the book. Here we go. All right. So they're talking about fascia, and they talk about how through the fascia you can learn to do. I mean, it's incredible the information that they have on just what you could do with the fascia, from learning to throw projectiles to learning to defend yourself or being able to generate massive amounts of energy or conserve massive amount of energy using the bouncing of your body. Like if you notice little kids, they could bounce all day long, right? And it's not because of the limitless energy that we think that they may have. It's the fact that they're able to use the 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 fascia properties of their body. Is like, because the body is a perpetual motion machine. So it's like if you learn how to bounce and you learn how to move around, like my daughters, they could bounce all day long. They be moving around and they could bounce, and you be like, you ain't tired? You know, no, they right. Of course, they got that youthful energy, but the piece is the fascia. By learning to use the fascia, we can plug back into some of the basic survival mechanisms. Because the one thing we got to understand as human beings, right? We're not the fastest animals. We don't have the best weapons. Look, you ain't got no claws. You know what I'm saying? Your teeth ain't sharp. You ain't sharp enough to, you know what I'm saying? You bite a bear, you try to bite a bear back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna do no good. There was something within us that made us formidable. And a lot of people, it's like the brain and all this, right? But all the brain had to develop. You know what I'm saying? The brain didn't just, you know what I'm saying? We had, the brain had to be developed. The skills had to be developed. The one thing that we have over most animals is our ability to endure and our ability to morph and to bend and to shape as we moved across the landscape, right? Hell, we used to be able to hunt shit until it dropped. I want you to understand. I mean, I want you to understand that the level of endurance that we would have to be able to put up with. So when people talk about I'm hungry and I'm starving and shit like that, understand, family, for hundreds of thousands of years, we had to actually get out here and hustle to eat, right? So this whole concept of hungry and three meals a day, all this shit is new, right? We used to have to get out and hustle. This meant that we had to learn how to work with the perpetual motion within our body, right? So this whole fascia piece is incredible. So we're gonna do some more talking about it. Um, I'm gonna identify some of the stuff I want to share with you, man, because this is a dope book, along with the other books that I'm reading right now. I got some more books coming, um, as well, right? So I'm relearning how to use the library again. Also, so in the chapter about fascia, they're talking about um, the martial arts, defending yourself, right? And I'm looking at this information, and if I pull down a little book, right, where it says how to win in hand fighting as taught to the British commandos in the U.S. Armed Forces by Major W.E. Fairborn. You don't need brute strength. With your bare hands, you can beat the man who wants to kill you. Right? Now, I would suggest y'all pull this little book down. Right? It's a PDF. You can pull it down. Actually, I'm for those people on the inside. I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna pull it down and I'm gonna share it because it's public domain. But the book basically gives you just a few simple moves. With a few simple moves, you could dismantle people that's been practicing martial arts or bullying and shit. And it's the book is 50 pages. And listen, take it from me, family. Listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the most skilled fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight. Right? And I'm looking at this shit. And I'm like, this shit is legit. Simple, quick, and legit. And it's basically using the energy in your body. You know what I'm saying? It's using the natural ability of your body to twist, bend, and to transfer energy from one point to another and being able to totally dismantle somebody. All right, so now let's get into this folk tale. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know, brother, out there, I'm eclectic. I'm studying a bunch of stuff, and I know some of y'all be like, how do you put all this shit together, right? Because it's like, I want everybody that's with me. I want you to be able to defend yourself. I want you to be able to create food for yourself. I want you to be able to find good water for yourself. I want you to be able to survive in any condition, right? So I'm studying a little bit of everything. Like I said, you know, with the 5 parts of being: intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, right? You gotta make all those things work together, man, right? So I'm using my mind, right? My IMESP, intuition, mental. I'm using my mind to explore different avenues to make sure that everybody that's listening to me has the ability to get up out of every situation. Whether that situation is bad, you get caught up in something bad intuitionally, whether you get caught up in something bad mentally, whether you're in a bad emotional space, whether you're in a bad spiritual phase or in a bad physical space, I want you to be able to get up and get out of it, right? Because our piece is not only maintaining our health and becoming the healthiest people, but being able to put ourselves in healthy and good situations, right? Because many of y'all listening to me, we have children, and our children are watching us, right? And if we're putting ourselves in bad situations, what in the hell makes us think that our children aren't going to do the same thing? We are suffering from generational curses, right? Somebody has been cursing us generation after generation, and we have been accepting the curses. Let me tell you something about curses and about magic, right? That shit, you have to accept that shit for it to work. Do y'all hear me? You have to accept it. And I'm telling y'all right now, family, it's time for us to stop accepting the bullshit. Stop accepting it, right? You have to accept the curse. And I'm like, stop accepting it. You don't have to accept it no more. You know what I'm saying? You done suffered, as a group, we done suffered long enough, and it's time for us to really start raising up into our greatness and really looking at our whole being, right? Not just being the most spiritual. We ain't just the most spiritual. We're the most physical. We're the most with my camera, man. But yo, we're about to get some new equipment, so it's coming. Thanks to y'all support, we're gonna be able to get us some better equipment, right? Not that phone, you're doing a good job. You know, you gotta celebrate what you have. Be grateful for what you have. But you know what I'm saying? I want us to be able to move into better spaces in all aspects of our lives. So I'm looking at the whole piece. I'm looking at the microbiome. I'm looking at the fascia. I'm looking at different ways of thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at different ways of breathing. I'm looking at different ways of drinking and drinking different things. I'm looking at different ways of creating wealth or creating food for ourselves, right? So I want to share this story with y'all, and then I'm going to let y'all go for today, all right? But the name of the story, I'm behind on my story, so y'all going to help me with this one, all right? This one is called The Killing Virtue. I'm getting it from African Folktales by Roger D. Abraham. So I have to go through this one and start separating the folktale by principle, like I did with the Aesop fables, because I got all the Aesop fables broken down. And I think I offer that to everybody that's doing a Goose Supper Challenge. Actually, I do. All right, but check this story out. Help me figure this out. Below, leave your comment. Let me know what you think. In the olden time, a man went hunting in the far bush. He took with him his wife, but one day he left her by a shea butter tree and did not return, and the woman could not find her way home to their village. She therefore built herself a shelter near the tree, where not long after she gave birth to a boy child. Now, a lioness lived quite close to the tree, and she gave birth to a male cub at the same time as the woman to bore her child. But she was unaware that a woman was nearby. Every day the lioness went into the bush to look for meat, and the woman also wandered away in search of roots and fruits. While they were absent, the two children, the man child and the lion cub, met and played together and became the fastest of friends without either parent's knowledge. One day, however, the lioness lay in wait near the shea butter tree, sprang on the woman as she was returning home, killed her, and brought the body back to share with her cub. The man-child missed his mother at midday, but even so went out in the evening to play with the lion cub. The cub, however, would not play and kept looking at his friend, who at last said, "Lion, what is the matter?" And the lion replied, "Man, I have no food today. I have bad trouble for you. Follow me." So the man-child went with the lion cub back to the latter's home, and there he saw his mother lying dead on the ground. He began to cry, but the lion cub said, "Stop. I have sworn a big oath today that as my mother has killed your mother, I shall be your faithful friend until I die. I will avenge you, and until then I shall care for you." Having said this, he took the man-child back home. Each day for many months after that, the lion cub brought a large share of meat his mother gave him to the man-child. They grew up together. Excuse me. Playing and becoming more and more friendly. Every morning, the lion cub called the man-child and placing his paw in the paw marks of his mother said, "Soon, very soon, I shall be strong enough." At last, there came the day when the two fitted exactly the footprint of the cub and his mother. Then the cub went out with his mother and said, "Teach me how to catch meat." After a few lessons, the cub thought he was strong enough, and he told the man-child that the next day he would avenge the slaying of his mother. The following morning, the cub killed the lioness, his mother, and showed the corpse to his friends, saying, "Now I have kept the first part of my oath." Then for a long time the two lived quite happily together. But one evening the lion cub said to his friend, "It is time for you to return to your brothers, marry, and live in the village. I have seen a very fine girl, the daughter of a chief. She must be your wife. Now listen to my plan. Go to the village. I will hide myself near the watering place, and when I see this girl, I will catch her. But I won't harm her. Everyone else will run away scared. So if you go to the chief and ask him for his daughter, he will agree if you can save her. Then follow me, and I will give her up to you. Build your house on the outskirts of the village. I will come to see you every Friday evening, and you must meet me here in the bush alone. But remember this, never take a second wife, or trouble will surely come." The man-child followed the lion's instructions and rescued the merry chief's daughter. The people built him a house outside the village, but every Friday he sent his wife to spend the night with her family, while he and the lion played together and exchanged their news. A long time passed in this way, when one day there came to the village a woman of great wealth and power. She had refused every man's offers of marriage, and having decided to choose for herself, was traveling everywhere throughout the land in search of a suitable husband. She saw the man-child, fell in love, and asked him to marry her. But he, mindful of the cub's words, refused her. She insisted, so he compromised and took her into the household. Every Friday, however, he sent her to the village with his wife. The lion foretold trouble, but the man-child said that there will be no problem because he had not married the woman. She was merely his. But unlike his wife, this woman had a curiosity which she couldn't contain, and one Friday, instead of leaving, she hid herself and saw the lion coming to meet his friend. She went to tell a hunter, and that night, while the two friends had their usual fun, he hid himself in the lion's path. When the lion left in the morning, the hunter shot him, and then immediately went back to tell the people. On hearing the news, the man-child ran to his friend's corpse, and seizing the arrow that had killed him, he stabbed himself with it and died. When his wife arrived and saw the body of her husband and his friend, she went straight back to the house, found a rope, and hanged herself. Now, which of the three, lion, man, or wife, do you think was the most virtuous? All right. So I need your help with that story. Help me out with that story. Which of the three did you think was the most virtuous? The lion, the wife, or the man-child? Right? These type of stories are told to stimulate thought, stimulate discussion. There's no right or wrong. You feel how you feel. Just be able to voice how you feel and defend the point. All right? So that we can have this discussion. Right? I'm ready to get the discussion on. All right? Now, also, a couple of weeks ago, we did a show on personal holidays. Today is Kujichagulia. Once again, I wish y'all a great Kujichagulia. For those that are new, Kujichagulia is self-determination. The Modic principle is justice. The Hermetic law is correspondence. The male's name is the male born on this day is called Kwabana. That's me. The female day is Abana. In Wolof, the day is Kursa, self-respect, and respect for others. In Akan ethics, generosity and beneficence. Traditional Yoruba, attributes of good character. So the character part today is iffarable, iffarabale, calmness as well. So we're adding to our language. We're adding to, because whether those that don't even, those that don't understand, it's cool, but those that do, right, we understand that when we talk about building a nation, right, when we talk about building a culture, stable, historically developed community of people with territory, economic life, distinctive culture, and language in common. We have a language in common already. We're building on that language, right? You know what I'm saying? Just simple words like Great Kujichagulia. Those of you that's been in the circle and been meeting with me, y'all know what that means, right? Y'all know what day in the universe this means. This is our language. So we're adding other stuff to it. There's other characteristics with it now. So in Wolof, it's Kursa, self-respect and respect for others. And as we start using these words, we'll start building, be able to have conversations around these words in ways that other people can't. We have conversations about the folk tales in ways that other people can't because we got a distinctive culture and language in common. See, distinctive culture, right? Which means that we have put borders, we have distinctive culture, right? So we have a distinctive way of looking at the world, right? So one of the things I wanted to bring up was that today, for me, is the day that I was born on, right? Not my birthday, the actual day that I was born on. No, this is the day of the week, Kujichagulia. I was born on Kursa, self-respect and respect for others, generosity and beneficence, right? These are things that kind of lay out who I am. Calmness. I don't know, a lot of times y'all don't see that, right? But when it comes to helping other people, when it's about me, a lot of times I get excited. But when I'm giving other people advice, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, I'm a little bit calmer and stuff like that. But today is that personal holiday that I'm talking about for those. So what I'm doing is today is just the water and ambrosia day, right? I took the Roliola today as well, but giving your body that time, that break, that holiday. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, we associate holidays with feasting. What I'm challenging you to do is to kind of set some holidays apart for yourself, where you allow your body to rest, because in this culture we feast all the time, right? So now what I'm saying is give your body time to rest, right? And I know some of y'all like, but I thought you just came off a fast. Well, I'm only fasting a day. You know what I'm saying? After 21 days, a day ain't shit, right? And I want some of y'all to get to a point where a day ain't shit for you, right? Where you're able to just shut it down for a day, just drink water, drink your health drink, and be able to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't have to do it on a weekly basis like I'm going to be working on for myself. What I'm saying is you have to go on and start identifying those days where you're going to start giving yourself rest. Now, for those that want to fast with me, I will be coming out with a schedule. And it's going to be very simple. Like, for example, we got on August 21st, we have eclipse that's going to be going down, right? I'm fasting for that, right? I haven't decided whether it's going to be a day or whether I'm going to do a day before, the day of, and then come off the day after following the proper process. Then we also have the equinox coming up in September, around September 21st. So we got those days, and of course we got the winter solstice coming up. We got the Kwanzaa holidays coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna set up a calendar for those that may not have those days for themselves, and you might want to fast with with a group or just another person. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we got to have fasting buddies. You know what I'm saying? Accountability. People say accountability buddies, but let's call it fasting buddies, right? Right? Because because when you hold yourself accountable, it's almost the same thing as fasting, right? It takes a certain amount of discipline, fasting. You know what I'm saying? But we're moving through stuff fast. We're learning fast. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we pass on stuff, right? So I'm gonna go and finish and catch up on this piece here and get Cleve up so he can start his studies. And I'm gonna produce this and get it up for y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Put down who you think was the most virtuous in the story, right? Let's go get this conversation popping off, all right? So with that, I'm telling y'all I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to subscribe. Click the bird right there, the fiery bird. And I also have a special video just for you, right there. And for those that want more information about Nyame Journey, go to our site. It should be right about there. Peace.